Hey. How you guys doing? All right. So I came across this story and I figured out it's actually a really good thing to do a follow up on it. So do you guys remember this couple from from Missouri? I think St. Louis, Missouri. You guys remember them? Well, I know there's no one in the stream right now. But anyway, so you have Mark and Patricia. Mark and Patricia McCloskey. I think that's their name. Well, I hope that's their name. So yeah, anyway, there was like a group of protesters that was trying to go to the mayor's house. So, but the mayor lives in a gated community. So what these people did, they actually broke into the gated community and to go into private properties just to go to the mayor's house. So therefore, on their way there, uh, apparently Mark and Patricia, they both called the cops, and the cops told them that they would not be able to intervene because they had their hands full. So therefore, they grabbed their rifle and they were able to protect their family from they were threatened to kill their these quote unquote protesters. They were threatening to kill their dogs, doing a whole bunch of heinous things to them. Hey, what's up, Sirius? How you doing, man? So therefore, they were able to protect themselves and their family from anyone infringing on their right. Because as you can see from what the pattern we have seen when a lot of these people, they go places and they get riled up, they get angry, and it only takes one person to start doing some dumb shit for the rest of them to follow. So whether it's graffitiing their house, break their shit down, smash their windows, all of that could have happened, but they were able to stand their ground and protect their property. Well, the lady, Patricia, I think she definitely needs some gun training and whatnot. But at the end of the day, nobody got hurt. Right, so that's the lesson here. However, now the St. Louis attorney, the St. Louis County attorney and stuff like that, I think she wanted to press charges against these couple. They had their gun confiscated, and they wanted to actually press charges on them. But the funny thing is, Patricia and Mark and Patricia, they didn't break any laws. So let's read this article real quick. Oh shit! First off, let me. Oh, hold up. Be patient with me, guys. Oh yeah. Hey. So, how you doing, Sirius? How did you sleep? Let's share the screen real quick. Oh wow. Trains popping by. All right, cool. So, where are we? All right, you guys can see the screen. And now I'm about to share this article real quick. It feel bloody show. Unresponsive. No, don't do that. Oh, you cheeky cunt. All right. Let's try that again. So if you go to Google and type in Missouri, Missouri couple, hold on. Wait. Missouri AG. Against St. Louis couple. All right, let's see what we have here. Interesting. All right, news. Let's break some news, shall we? Insider. All right, cool. Let's check out the Insider. So let's read this article real quick. Hours after the St. Louis couple who pointed guns at protesters were given felony charges, Missouri's Attorney General said he'll joining the case to get their charges dismissed. All right. So hours after St. Louis couple were charged for pointing their guns at Black Lives Matter protesters. Well, that's a big quote. Protesters. The Attorney General of Missouri weighed in on the case and argued that it should be thrown out. Mark and Patricia McCloskey were charged Monday with one count each of unlawful use of a weapon. The charge stemmed from the video taken of the pair on June 28th, in which they were seen shouting at and pointing firearm at demonstrators. Look, once you broke into someone's private property, then you are now, first of all, you are trespassing. And therefore, charges should be brought upon some of these quote unquote protesters. Because the place they were on were private property. I don't care how you want to spend it and all that stuff. It was private property. It was a gated community, private property. So therefore, yeah, they were breaking the law. And once someone is actually breaking the law, I'm going to read you the Castle Doctrine in a few minutes anyway. So the charges stem from the video taken, blah, 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 a firearm demonstrator marching through their upscaling neighborhood. I love the way they use some of the languages to kind of paint a scenario in your head, right? So through their upscale neighborhood on the way to a protest outside of Mayor Linda Crevson's house. In an announcement, the charged St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Garden said, "We must protect the right to peacefully protest, and any attempt to chill it through intimidation will not be tolerated." So, as you can see, so far, they have not mentioned that these quote-unquote protesters, they went through a gated community, which is private property, broke the gate to get through there, so they were trespassing. So as you can see, they did not mention that. They will tell you in the upscale neighborhood to kind of make you feel some type of way, because most people, they feel some type of way when it comes to successful people, whether it's, wealthy or whatever. On Monday night, hours after the charges were filed, Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt filed an amicus brief in the case defending the McCloskey, who work as a personal injury lawyers. All right. So when was this article come out? That was July 21st. So there must be something sooner than that. Let's take a quick look. 4 days ago. All right, but anyway, so where were we? So now, a lot of these, why is this thing important? Why is it important to actually know the follow-up of these stories? Because the reason why it is important, yeah, the writer wants to actually have an emotional response. The reason why it is important to actually follow through these stories is because the outrage mob, they know that going out there burning and looting and all these things, right, trying to install fear, they know that they cannot win over the general population. Don't want to have destructions. They want to improve the system, not dismantling it. Because going through chaos, what you would have is not a democratic or the continuation of a democratic system or rule of law. What you're going to have is fascism. What you're going to have is authoritarianism. So therefore, what they want to install in people's mind is that if you defend yourself against the outrage mob, then you will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, there will be a lot of bad things happening to you. So it is best for you to defend yourself, not to defend your family, not to defend your property, and actually allow them to do whatever the hell they want to you. So it is a psychological warfare, what they are trying to actually install in people's mind. Let's face it. Say for example, if you want to attack a white person, right, and get away with it, all you have to do is claim that that person is racist, and then you can actually continue and do what you want to do towards them and get away with it, and say that, oh well, he called me a racist, a race slur or something like that, and then you'll be able to do whatever the hell you want. So now, same thing when you are going through and doing all this thing to people's property and destroying their livelihood, and then you come up, and then as a person that my lives being destroyed, I defended myself and my property, and then they're gonna try to get the cops to arrest you for defending yourself. And even though the case might be dropped later on, right? You get your lawyer, it costs you a little bit of money, a hustle, a headache, that might drop later on. However, the mainstream media is not going to report on that, because the victory that they're looking for is to install the fear into people that you shouldn't defend yourself, and then use let's say the McCloskey as an example. See what happened when you brandish your weapon? Yeah, you're going to get arrested. Who do you think you are? Try to defend yourself, huh? Don't you know that the mob rule? So that is the thing that they try to install in people's mind. But this is why it is now more important than ever to understand the law, to understand what you need to do in order to defend yourself. So let's take a look at the Missouri self-defense or Castle Doctrine, right? Okay, Missouri Castle Doctrine. Missouri recognized the Castle Doctrine and allowed residents to use force against intruders without the duty to retreat, based on the notion that your home is your castle. This legal doctrine assumed that if an invader disrupts the sanctity of your home, they intended to do you harm, and therefore you should be able to repel their advance. So now, if we take a look at these so-called protesters, what did they do? They broke into a private gate. They dismantled the gate, right? And then get into private property, private streets. It's a gated community. So therefore, they were trespassing. And now these couple, they cannot retreat from their own home. They have every right to defend their home. So did they break any law? No, they didn't. Do they need more gun training? Hell yeah, they do. The way that this couple, they were holding their their arm, their weapon, yeah, they definitely need some more gun training. And but however, did that really matter? Because they ended up protecting their homes. Their house wasn't burned down. Um, they were not assaulted. They they defended their castle. At the end of the day, they defended their castle. And I have to understand here, nobody got hurt. So you can use your weapon as a shield until it is necessary for you to use it as a sword. So therefore, when these protesters recognize or realize that these folks, they were harmed, then it sends the message out there that they will not be easy meat. And when you are in a position to defend yourself, those who are trying to harm you will not be happy. They will be very, very upset the fact that you have the balls or the right to defend yourself. And then you're gonna have a whole bunch of moral outrage folks telling you that, well, you should never, these people, they were just protesting, you should never, pull a gun out in any circumstance and all that shit. Right? No, don't let these ideas, don't let people try to convince you that you shouldn't take action that will actually be in your best interest for you and your family, because that would go against your instinct. You see a group of people and you're watching the news, you've seen how, what happened to homeowners, what happened to houses that got burned down, what happened to people that just standing there just because they're in the wrong color. They all, their skin is the wrong color and they get beat up by the mob. So you're watching all these things playing out on YouTube or on all these videos, and then now you see now that the same type of mob under the same banner, the same flag is coming to your neighborhood. It's coming to your private property, to your gated community. And when you call the cops, they tell you they cannot help you. What do? These folks, you cannot reason with them. If they choose to bring harm upon you and your family, you best be prepared for whatever might happen. So when these stories are no longer in the mainstream media, because narrative now is changing from misery couple has been arrested for pointing a gun at protesters, to now the cases are being dropped against the misery couple, a Missouri couple, St. Louis couple, because they were in their right to practice the Castle Doctrine. They don't want people to know that they can defend themselves. Of course not, because it is not in their best interest to have any sort of opposition. So these stories, that the reason I talk about these things is not because it's not to trying to convince anyone that, if you already believe that this couple shouldn't defend themselves, then that's really not the point for you. Because therefore I'm not trying to convince you whatever you see the world. It's, if you're right or you're wrong, only time will tell. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to actually let people understand you do have the right to defend yourself. So these examples they try to show you, it's trying to intimidate you for you not to take any proper action to defend yourself. So then when you do have the following of what happened afterward, when you realize, yes, there are different gun law, and which is why it is very important to know your state's gun laws, to know what you can and cannot do, and then have your attorney on retainer, all this stuff. Now it's not the time to be ignorant of the law. It is not the time to be ignorant of the law. So therefore, know what you can and cannot do, And knowing how to defend yourself is the utmostly important right now. And the more people cry about defunding the police, let's do this, let's do that, and is making people very vulnerable to those who seek out to take advantage of their situation. So my advice to you is understand the law which you are operating upon, the states as well as federal level, because something might be legal in a state, but it's against the Constitution. So you need to know both. You need to know how to protect yourself from a federal level as well from a state level. And then get your training, proper trigger discipline, all that stuff. You don't want to just pull out a gun and start shooting people. No, that's not going to work. Use your weapon as a shield until it is necessary for you to use it as a sword. So don't never or ever let anyone tell you otherwise, that you should not defend your family, you should not defend yourself, you should not defend your property. And every time you have those stories that come up, somebody got arrested for defending themselves, somebody got arrested from defending themselves, somebody got arrested from defending themselves, they just try to make you afraid of doing the right thing for you, which is defending yourself. So that's why it's important to keep sharing these stories. Oh, remember that couple that got arrested for defending themselves? Yeah, their cases, their charges got dropped, so they're not in trouble anymore. And I'm also keeping up with the story of the Michigan couple, because I wouldn't be surprised that their cases got dropped as well. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. All right, serious. Appreciate you popping by. All right, guys. So share this link, share, like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. And remember, stay safe out there, guys.